A headline from Politico for every day of January 2025. As Trump's return looms, Chief Justice warns against defying courts. Trump's world of peril and opportunity. How a long speaker fight could impact Trump's ability to start his next term. He owes them. MAGA activists worry about Musk's influence over Trump in legal migration spat. Trump's tax cuts are about to unleash chaos on the Hill. Here's how. 20 years before January 6, Al Gore stood up to his own party, Mike Pence was watching. January 6, 2021 is in the rear view. The battle to define it for history is in full swing. Is Zuckerberg kneeling to Trump? It's not so simple. Wildfire response threatens to end Karen Bass's extended honeymoon. 2 months later, Dems are still squabbling over lessons learned from Trump's win. We went to Greenland to ask about a Trump takeover. Trump tells House Republicans to find a fair number on SALT. I think things are going to be bad, really bad. The U.S. military debates possible deployment on U.S. soil under Trump. Trump has not been exonerated, Special Counsel Jack Smith declares in final report. Jack Smith's final say, takeaways from the Special Counsel's report. Biden warns of rising democracy threatening oligarchy in grim farewell speech. The spiritual case for Greenland. What Biden didn't do on the Equal Rights Amendment is more important than what he did. TikTok goes dark in the U.S. Why Trump supporters see sunshine in Trump's dark and foreboding speeches. Trump closes first day with an avalanche of executive orders. There's reason to be worried about the plethora of pardons from Trump and Biden. Federal DEI websites go dark after Trump order and threat of consequences. Fallout from Trump's January 6 pardon spreads on Capitol Hill. Hegseth heads to Pentagon with plans to upend it. Chuck Grassley thinks Democrats will rebound more quickly than you think. Everyone's afraid to offend the president. How the tech giants went silent on Paris. Trump administration orders sweeping freeze of federal aid. How Trump's orbit used blunt force to squeeze Hegseth through. Nothing short of a nightmare. Jet and helicopter collide in deadly crash near Reagan National. Goddamn do something. Years of warnings came before DC's air tragedy. A headline for every day of February 2025. Trump says he's opened California's water. Local officials say he nearly flooded them. Trump finalizes tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, triggering likely trade war. Hardliner rebellion forces House GOP leaders to scramble for deeper cuts. Doge's access to federal data is an absolute nightmare, legal experts warn. They've done their homework. The unexpected power of Musk's digital assault on Washington. Trump aides knew he wanted to take over Gaza, but had no plan. After Trump's remarks on Gaza, some in Dearborn, Michigan think we screwed up. They still want one big, beautiful bill. They're nowhere close. She's in House GOP leadership. Here's how she responds to Trump tweets. Inside the House GOP clash over tax cuts. Johnson quietly shops new budget blueprint. Treasury officials say Musk ally mistakenly had power to alter payment systems. Trump's uphill battle to make NATO allies hit his mega defense spending target. House Republicans advance their budget after appeasing hardliners. They're not just suing to stop Doge, they're suing Elon Musk himself. A top Democrat speaks out on how the party will fight Trump. Fight over Trump's firing of watchdog reaches Supreme Court. A warning to Trump targets. The law isn't on your side. Trump signs order to claim power over independent agencies. Trump blindsides staff and Congress with conflicting Medicaid messages. Out goes Mitch McConnell and an era of GOP politics. Trump fires top military leaders in unprecedented shakeup. Musk says all federal workers need to explain their work or be let go. Email starts power clash between Musk and agency leaders, even the Trump loyalists. House Republicans, unfazed by protests, were moving forward with the cuts. Congressional Republicans start backing away from Musk. Chief Justice allows Trump administration to keep foreign aid frozen for now. Republicans say states are pulling a fast one on Medicaid. A headline for every day of March 2025. Federal workers told once again to justify their work to Doge. Murkowski rebukes Trump over Ukraine, walking away from our allies. Can Ukraine-U.S. relations be repaired? Trump halts military aid to Ukraine. Trump celebrates disruption and defies backlash. Musk to House Republicans. Doge can't bat 1,000 all the time. IKEA beds, dressers, inside the exceedingly odd Doge office setup. I don't trust a word of it. Federal workers deeply skeptical that Trump will rein in Musk. Climate Coalition launches lawsuit against Trump freeze. Why Canada's Liberal Party picked Mark Carney to replace Justin Trudeau. USDA cancels $1 billion in local food purchasing for schools and food banks. Trump allies are blaming Lutnick for Trump's tariff turmoil. Chuck Schumer is in a real shutdown mess. Can he lead Democrats out of it? Senate Dems brace to vote for a bill they hate to block Elon Musk. Uniting anger. Democrats fume over Schumer's handling of funding fight. Federal judge halts deportations after Trump invokes Aliens Enemies Act. White House touts deportation of alleged gang members that court ordered returned to U.S. Schumer is doing damage control. It isn't working. How Trump is picking battle-tested new judges. Trump is bombarding the Ivy League. This college just hired a staunch ally as its top lawyer. Universities are caving to Trump with a stunning speed and scope. Trump floats sending Americans to foreign prisons. Civil rights groups say that would be illegal. Cuomo's billion-dollar boondoggle with Elon Musk. Trump versus Canada. Prime Minister Carney calls snap election to take on president. Waltz's future in doubt following accidental war plan leak. Hegseth slips up during an international trip. Again. Trump changes his tune on Signalgate. I always thought it was Mike. This is completely insane. A reality check about the Signal chat leak. In private meeting, Vance and top advisor suggested Trump oust Waltz. Lawmakers and industry groups blast away at DOE project kill list. The Trump family is cashing in on crypto. It's creating problems in Congress. A headline for every day of April 2025. Meet the Republican who wants to be the next Jim Jordan. Democrats trounce Trump with their Musk-focused playbook in Wisconsin. Never mind Wisconsin, the GOP should be worried about the Florida results. Trump's tariffs threaten U.S. weapons production. Why Mike Johnson and John Thune are sticking with Trump amid tariff turmoil. Why Trump may get away with his tariff trauma. Trump's pro-Palestinian activism crackdown closely mirrors a plan from the creators of Project 2025. How ugly is this going to be? We are waiting for a reply. Countries say White House hasn't responded on tariff talks. Ted Cruz breaks ranks with Trump to advance his own agenda. Reality check. What Trump's supposed retreat really means in a historic trade war. Lighthizer gives private trade war advice to Canada's conservatives. Musk goes where no other Trump advisor can, publicly disagreeing with the president. How bad is California's housing crisis? A first-in-the-nation bill would let students live in cars. Trump, in a rare move, deferred to another world leader. It's a clear legal play. The untold story of how Trump shocked Europe in a few short days. California's lawsuit puts West Coast business leaders to the test. Senator Van Hollen secures visit with man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Pentagon turmoil deepens. Top Hegseth aide leaves post. Trump and Xi are locked in a standoff over direct trade negotiations. Former Pentagon official warns department's dysfunction could topple Hegseth. An enormous usurpation inside the case against Trump's tariffs. The vicious rivalries tearing apart Pete Hegseth's Pentagon. Quest to take $20 billion in climate money puts Trump agencies at significant risk, attorney warned. Pentagon leadership vacuum overwhelms Hegseth's office. It's a free-for-all. Canada's Conservatives court Jewish voters in bid to break Liberal grip on key cities. Trump-aligned club for the ultra-rich launches in Washington. Weight loss craze sparks D.C. lobbying bonanza. Mark Carney elected Canada's Prime Minister. It was supposed to be a tax and border bill. It could also hand Trump vast new executive powers. A headline for every day of May 2025. The GOP plan to fund Trump's agenda is running into a major roadblock: Trump. Trump's national security team was extraordinarily weak even before Waltz's ouster. Trump's immigration shock and awe is losing in the court of law. Virginia GOP roiled by controversy over sexually explicit photos. Why the Senate crypto bill is in turmoil. He was protected from deportation by legal settlement. Trump deported him anyway. Republicans thought they'd pad their Senate majority. The map is getting tougher. Trump administration eyes release of her interview blocked by Biden. Leo is America's first pope. His worldview appears at odds with America First. Judge temporarily blocks Trump administration from laying off federal employees. Why Trump is obsessed with altering the world's maps. How Trump's last-minute contract decision sent brains to the grave. Trump gets wish list in House GOP tax bill with some exceptions. American business titans greet Trump in Saudi Arabia. Dems maintain they're looking forward as questions about Biden loom. Some Republicans are angry about climate law cuts. Will they tank the GOP megabill? Commerce, not chaos. Trump remakes the foreign trip. Does it matter if the Pope is black? House Budget Panel approves Trump megabill following hardliner resistance. China's head start on clean energy is shaping the debate on the Republicans' megabill. Republicans close in on big, beautiful deal. House Republicans tee up floor action on Trump's megabill. 7 things Senate Republicans hate about the House megabill. I'm not looking for a deal. Trump revives global trade war. What it looks like as Andrew Cuomo closes in on mayoralty. That's the way militaries work in Russia, in China, and North Korea. Mikey Sherrill promises to change New Jersey. Her playbook is familiar. Trump is losing patience with Putin, but unsure of his next move. Federal court strikes down Trump's tariffs on countries around the world. Newsom taunts Trump after tariff loss. It's raining tacos. Musk might not be genuine. Democrats should still take him back. A headline from every day of June 2025. Trump administration prepares to ease big bank rules. 2 states, 1 tepid view of Kamala Harris and her political future. White House vows no Medicaid cuts except to those who don't deserve it. White House allies disappointed at Musk's opposition to megabill. Trump issues new multi-country travel ban. Trump and White House aides signal a possible detente with Musk. The polling on Elon Musk is a warning for Republicans. Don't be fooled. The Musk-Trump blowup is really about immigration. Newsom calls National Guard deployment unlawful as immigration clashes rock L.A. A self-fulfilling prophecy. How the clash in L.A. could explode. Newsom gains a step in brawl with Trump. It'll help Gavin, especially if he gets arrested. Hogg declines to run again for DNC vice chair after new election is called. MAGA warned Trump on Iran. Now he's in an impossible situation. Trump embraces Israeli strike after arguing against it. Political violence is a sickness. Elected officials worry that attacks will escalate. European leaders clamor to be the G7's Trump whisperer. Senate Republicans cool to Finance Committee's tax plan. The reality we live in. Lawmakers consider what they'd sacrifice for safety. Megabill debt warnings fall on deaf ears inside the GOP. This former congressman survived political violence. He carried a gun to fire back. Top Pentagon spy pick rejected by White House. White House wary of Iran counterattack as Trump strikes triumphant tone. Trump floats regime change in Iran, muddying the administration's message. Trump announces Israel-Iran ceasefire. Zohran Mamdani topples Andrew Cuomo in New York City mayoral race. Zohran Mamdani won big. 8 insiders lay out what that means for the Democratic Party. The administration is struggling to back up Trump's bold claims on Iran strikes. Justices' nerves fray in Supreme Court's final stretch. Senate Republicans put megabill on track for likely Monday passage. Tom Tillis denounces GOP's megabill's Medicaid cuts in fiery speech. A headline for every day of July 2025. The Senate megabill is on a collision course with House fiscal hawks. How Republicans got Murkowski to yes on Trump's megabill. Trump allies caught off guard by Pentagon's Ukraine weapons freeze. The GOP's big fold. He likes the game too much. Why Trump isn't sweating his lack of trade deals. How Trump's very MAGA tax cuts break with GOP tradition. The people who brought you Bill Clinton want to introduce you to the Colorado way. Halted military aid for Ukraine may start flowing again. Pentagon policy chiefs' rogue decisions have irked U.S. allies and the Trump administration. Trump officials use shadowy website to target pro-Palestinian academics for deportation, court records show. Trump says U.S. to impose 35% tariff on Canadian goods. Federal judge blocks roving immigration arrests amid Los Angeles crackdown. DOJ pressures D.C.'s Bowser over anti-Semitism crisis in Washington. Dems couldn't save Biden's energy programs, so they'll try to make them a weapon against the GOP. We're not buying it. Trump ties Ukraine aid to America first. The MAGA blow-up over Pam Bondi has been a long time coming. Why some Trump allies want to protect the Fed's independence. Trump will sue the Wall Street Journal and directs Bondi to unseal Epstein material. Trump sues Wall Street Journal over alleged Epstein letter. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. How Trump's ICE raids knocked Los Angeles to its knees. Mamdani's social media savvy comes at a cost. Frustration and fear ripple through NPR and PBS affiliates after Congress approves clawbacks. Democrats hit the gas on Epstein saga. House Republicans back Epstein subpoena. Trump's South Park problem. The Epstein files timeline raises real questions for Trump. Trump administration pushes states to exclude immigrant students from in-state tuition. These voters were overlooked. Then they helped Mamdani win. Federal employees can pray and preach in the workplace under new Trump rules. Senate confirms Emil Bove to Third Circuit as Dems fail to thwart Trump pick. Squeezed like a lemon. White House raised the pressure ahead of Friday tariff deadline. A headline for every day of August 2025. Trump issues order imposing new global tariff rates effective August 7th. The Supreme Court just dropped a hint about its next big Voting Rights Act case. Kamala Harris has misgivings about government. Some Dems have misgivings about her. State Republicans not backing down in battle with TSA over facial recognition bill. Texas Democrats hold the line from hotel rooms as Abbott promises arrests. Trump may be off the hook for his 2020 election plot, but his allies aren't. This is sending a message. DOJ moves to sanction lawyer who took pro bono deportation case. Trump announces federal law enforcement will patrol D.C. Disproportionate and extreme. D.C. officials protest Trump's policing incursion. Why the ivory tower wants a deal with Trump. Is anyone in charge of Los Angeles? CDC staff dreads going back to work after fatal shooting. Hack of federal court filing system exploited security flaws known since 2020. Allies and jab at Trump threaten not to buy F-35s. The Kingmaker. Trump relishes his diplomacy as he jockeys for Nobel Prize. Despite red carpet rollout, no deal between Trump and Putin. The next generation of Trump-inspired showmen are in Riverside County, California. Trump pressures Zelensky ahead of high-stakes meeting. Trump touts successful Zelensky meeting and says he's arranging one with Putin. White House aims to fast-track key Federal Reserve pick. 7 months in, Trump's revolving door reaching full swing. There's no hiding. Powell faces daunting options in pivotal speech. He's clean. MAGA welcomes Maxwell testimony. Wall Street faces a reckoning in Washington as crypto influence grows. Going to be a bloodbath. The GOP mega law threatens a flooded hospital's future. Trump says he's firing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Judicial hesitancy. Why Trump is betting the courts will greenlight his ouster of Lisa Cook. Padilla's options, Porter's brushback, and Newsom's crusade. 7 takeaways from Politico's California summit. CDC in turmoil. Trump still backs RFK Jr. Democrats pounce in reliably red Iowa, fueled by special election hopium. Shrinking post-Katrina levees need $1 billion in upgrades. A headline for every day of September 2025. Cleveland's mayor wants Democrats to know millennials like him are impatient and ready to lead. In windy Iowa, a GOP lawmaker faces a reckoning over Trump's clean energy war. House releases first trove of Epstein files. Trump asks Supreme Court to rapidly take up tariff case. What RFK Jr. got wrong about vaccines during Senate hearing. Pentagon officials fume over Trump's Department of War rebrand. Democrats face high stakes in New Jersey and Virginia. Republicans brace for redistricting catastrophe in California. The rough road ahead for market whisperer Besant. Judge blocks Trump's bid to fire Lisa Cook from Federal Reserve Board. A new dark normal of political violence still shocks the nation. Charlie Kirk's death exposes absence of a leader to calm America. CEO whose comments sparked Trump's Memphis action also pitched him on a big rail merger. GOP Russia hawks have a new plan to outmaneuver isolationists. How California reached the unthinkable, a union deal with tech giants. Appeals court denies Trump bid to remove Federal Reserve Board member Lisa Cook. This is Code Red. Newsom rallies Dems in searing rebuke of Trump. After Charlie Kirk's killing, false claims flourish online with help from U.S. adversaries. Post-Kimmel, Dems could change the cancel culture narrative. Trump says it's no longer free speech. Trump's new detention policy targets millions of immigrants. Judges keep saying it's illegal. Trump lionizes Charlie Kirk, warns of dangers to America. Harris says she shoulders some blame for Biden recklessness. Trump to the world, do as I say. White House to agencies, prepare mass firing plans for a potential shutdown. Let's have a trial. Comey proclaims innocence as Trump revels in a grand jury indictment he demanded. Why the case against James Comey may end in humiliation for Trump's DOJ. Wes Moore hesitates on redistricting as Democrats eye Maryland's last GOP seat. Gavin Newsom hopes to beat Trump at his own game. How Cuomo plans to seize the Adamsless moment. A headline for every day of October 2025. Government shuts down amid standoff on Capitol Hill. How John Thune sees the shutdown ending. Trump hits independent agencies, spares the big stuff for now. Hegseth fires top Navy official. Federal judge halts Trump administration's call-up of National Guard in Portland. Judge blocks Trump's National Guard deployment in Portland for second time. Judges appointed by Trump keep ruling against him. He's not happy about it. Trump's off-script comments cause shutdown headaches for GOP. Katie Porter's viral videos plunge campaign into disaster. Key Trump nominee accused of sexual harassment. Qatar was the turning point. How Israel's bombing of Doha ignited a peace process. Trump has a different plan to oust Maduro this time around. Doug Ford's trade threats could backfire. U.S.-Canada business leader warns. Portland leader says Trump's portrayal of city is completely disconnected from the truth. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked. 7 months of shocking private messages among rising GOP leaders. Democrats float a new shutdown demand, reversing Trump's mass firings. Maine Senate candidate promoted violent political action in since-deleted online posts. Lawmaker resigns after involvement in racist chat. Meet the man who built RFK Jr.'s kitchen cabinet. Trump is cutting foreign aid. He's not the only one. Thune hopes White House withdraws Ingrassia nomination. Ingrassia withdraws nomination after racist texts. Abandoned NASA nominee may find new life. Trump ends trade talks with Canada over fake Reagan ad. GOP redistricting effort in New Hampshire is frozen. The pro-life movement still has some real juice. How Trump's promise of free IVF fizzled. The GOP's relationship with doctors is on the rocks. How the 7 most vulnerable House Republicans feel about an ACA extension. Trump counts on public support for drug boat strikes without congressional approval. Shake-up at ICE will boost immigration numbers, just not the ones that matter most to Trump. Trump isn't issuing Oval invites to end shutdown yet. A headline for every day of November 2025. The White House thought the shutdown would be quick. Now they're frustrated. Zoran Mamdani winning would test how far New York City has come on inclusion. The water war Trump hasn't blown up. A confidential manifesto lays out Isaacman's sweeping new vision for NASA. Trump's maximalist revenge tour screeches to a halt with Democratic blue wave. Donald Trump enters his lame duck era. Why Nancy Pelosi stands alone. Jackson lets Trump hold back full SNAP funding for now. The Medicaid program that saved money and turned people's health around and got killed. Senate advances plan to end historic shutdown and bipartisan breakthrough. Senate passes shutdown-ending deal. How Chuck Schumer plans to weather the storm. The shutdown is ending, and House Democrats are furious. Trump taps Ingracia for new role after texting scandal. How California's ultimate power broker went down. Food stamps are back, but millions will soon lose benefits permanently. Trump does Epstein U-turn as House Republicans prepare to spurn him. Congress is expected to release all Epstein files. Trump worries that won't be enough. Utterly foolish. Redistricting roadblocks leave Republicans wary of White House push. Witkoff's back-channel push on Ukraine alarms allies. The House is scrambling to avoid a censure death spiral. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns from Congress after clash with Trump. The strange and totally real plan to blot out the sun and reverse global warming. You can't just talk about gas and groceries. GOP grapples with housing affordability message. Rubio changes the tack of Trump's Ukraine negotiations after a week of chaos. The big sticking point in the White House's health care proposal. Allies worry U.S. demands Ukraine deal before security guarantees. Is it AI or a plane crash? The next big battleground test, a Wisconsin race that has tortured Republicans. RFK Jr. is overhauling the program that helps preserve Americans' access to vaccines. A headline for every day of December 2025. Jersey City runoff tests Democratic machine politics versus rebel progressives. DOJ deciding whether to seek new Comey and James indictments. GOP frets dangerous result in Tennessee. China debate delayed Trump's security strategy. Gianni Infantino's Trump problem. Trump keeps squeezing the next Fed chair. Immigration courts thrown into chaos as Trump administration purges dozens of judges. Trump's domestic struggles are making foreign leaders nervous. Why Senate Republicans aren't uniting behind a health care plan. Trump's frustration with Ukraine and Europe boils over. Never going to be pitch perfect. Trump loyalists see an imperfect messenger. We don't have a lot of time. Congress comes to terms with an all but certain lapse in Obama subsidies. Indiana GOP's Trump rebuke could lead to temporary redistricting d'entente. The Trump effect, how one man's politics rewired Europe. Balkman or Stefanik, New York Republicans want Trump to pick. House GOP moderates signal they'll fall in line with Johnson's health plan. Trump officials privately raise doubts about Hassett for Fed chair. Poll says the affordability crisis is disrupting politics in one country after another. Republicans are trying to change the subject on healthcare affordability to transgender care. What's missing from the Epstein files release? Democrats just won seats in Mississippi. The Supreme Court could block a repeat. Acting CISA director failed a polygraph. Career staff are now under investigation. Incredibly reckless. Trump's wind halt stuns even some allies. The NBA's billion-dollar bid to crack Europe is already hitting political resistance. States see possible warning signs amid steady Obamacare sign-ups. The ultra-processed food makers have an answer for RFK Jr. Gavin Newsom's big dilemma: tax the rich or defy the left. Brilliant James: how James Blair took Washington by storm. No deal, no defiance. UC's Trump fight grinds on, leaving UCLA in limbo. States step into the breach as Obamacare subsidies lapse. 16 predictions for American politics in 2026.